Hello there, Windy City Stunties. This is Goblin Marine again with your Week 4 recap. This week we have myself, my Psychedelic Shroomers Goblin team, taking it 2-0 over the 6 Psychopaths of Nillyman. Really, the tale of this game is that my weapons finally showed up. You may have seen in Discord that I posted all the injuries. That really was the tale of the tape. The 4 KOs, the kill. There were more injuries here, but they were weapons, not blocks, so they don't really show up. This was a rough game. I think he had an Agi busted, Ogre. He had something killed. So it was a rough game for the Ogres. My weapons really showed up to play. I got Fungus again because he's cheap. So I had a couple ball and chain starting off, and it just I don't know, he had trouble with them. The weapons, like I said, goblins are swingy. That one came out for me. We have Make Like a Banana versus Brunch Time, so this should be Big Chuck versus Striker. Big Luck, Big Chuck stealing all the dice. Lots of SPP. Let's see how the dice rolls turned out. Block dice were fine. Big Chuck, 35 sixes. I don't know whether they were armor or dodges, but wow, 41 sixes for Striker. So I don't know what you guys think, but Striker got some dice working for him. He also had a few more twos and well, he had a few more twos and threes, but really not even more threes, just about the same. So he had a lot better dice than he might think or might tell you, but don't let him lie. Now that might have come at the wrong time. Those sixes could all have been armor rolls. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to watch the games this week, and these can be a little bit misleading. 4 KOs, 4 injuries, and 1 kill for Striker to 4 injuries and 1 KO for Big Chuck. I think Striker's block halfling was MNG'd, or that might have been last week. That could have been a big deal if he was out this week. Underway Freaks, our Underworld team by Grazy, Drew with Little Lizzie, who I believe is Yo Romeo's team. So we have a 1-1 draw here. The Troll picking up another MVP, some more SPP, another level. Poor Skank getting injured. I believe this saw the death of the strength up Skank. Let's see statistics. 1 kill and 3 injuries inflicted by Grazy versus 4 injuries for Little Lizzie's from Yo Romeo. I believe the strength up Skank is dead. We'll see. I'll check the teams in a minute. Other than that, pretty even. Dice rolls, pretty even. Maybe the block dice were different. Yeah, the dice were pretty even. So hard to say exactly what happened on that in that one, but we got a draw. And we have Trolls Are Stupid, Pookie Pookie taking it 2-0 over Kamenzinner or Wollenshoe with Elite of the Worst, the Ogre team. Regular Goblin taking MVP. How'd the SPP go? There's a little bit of SPP over here. He got, what's that, 5 injuries? Is that correct? 5 injuries. So getting some good SPP on the Ogres. Getting lots of ones, which is sad. So 47 ones. A lot of fives, but a fair number of ones. Block dice. I don't know how many of these defender stumbles were against ogres versus being against the stunties where they don't do anything. But the dice weren't terrible. Looks like the ogres just didn't ever have the ball. I'm not sure what happened there, but John Madden quote here. It's kind of hard to score if you don't have the ball. Stupid stuff like that. So that's just rough. I don't know if he was trying to pick up with ogres or if it was in the rain or something, but that's rough when that happens. So let's go take a look through the teams. First, we have Trolls Are Stupid by Pookie Pookie. So again, he has no troll. He has 12 players. I believe this one, let's see, is an MNG or Niggled? Niggled. Ooh, that's going to hurt. And I believe he's got some SPP on that one. So that's a little rough, taking a niggling injury on one with SPP. Uh, got some development. He's got 2 diving tackle players, a sidestep player. He's got sprint. Or no, that's sure feet. Sure feet on the Pogoer, which I don't disagree with. I like that because he's already high movement. And if you take Sure Feet, suddenly you can really move, and then you can take Sprint, and then you can, in a Stunty league, you can try for push plays for one-turn touchdowns. Outside of a Stunty league, that wouldn't really be possible. But it depends on whether there's big guys on the line or not. 4 SPP on the Fnatic, which in my mind is, of these players, the only weapon that has a normal skill that is really worthwhile. There's not really anything the Bomber can take that's worthwhile in a normal. The Saw can take Sneaky Git, but there's been a debate about whether people like that. I like it, but not on the Saw. So the Saw and the Bomber, unless you get doubles, they don't get better. You just cycle them. The Fnatic gets better with levels. Next up, the Ogre team, the elite of the worst. Common Zimmer's team. A block break tackle Ogre, a bunch of break tackle, and Crazy Man has piling on first on one of them. He's had this for a little while now. I'd like to see him just belly flopping all over the place to see how that goes. Full bench, still no rerolls. I don't know if that's a money situation or what. But that will hurt too, not having those rerolls. They're expensive. He went for all the ogres. I can't fault him for that, but it does make for a rough game if you don't have rerolls. Crazy's Underway Freaks, the Underworld team. Extra arms and 2 heads. He's had those for a little while. I think he had those when he played me. The Troll has Tackle Tentacles. I don't know how I feel about taking Tackle after Tentacles. If I didn't have Tentacles, I might take Tackle and then Tail. But if you've already got Tentacles, I would take Block, actually, on this guy. Maybe he's using it to be offensive with this guy, saying, if you pass the Tentacles roll, I'll still trip you. And on a Block, it's just as good as Block. So, I don't know. It's good in a Stunty league, but I'm not sure I would take that after Tentacles on a Troll. I would probably go Block or possibly Pro. There's some other meme things you can do. You could go Leader. Oh, nobody's going to hurt him. So, I don't know. It's good in a Stunty league, but Tackle kind of negates it because they're not going to be dodging away too much, I wouldn't think. Lizard Man team by Big Chuck. They make like a banana. Let's see how much of a cheater he is. Only a block skink. That's the only one that's a cheater roll. Grab on his Crocs. Block skink. Sure feet skink. 3 sidestep and a diving tackle. Probably these guys will flesh out to sidestep and diving tackle. I'm not sure exactly what his plan is, but Big Chuck knows how to play Stunties. Getting some development. Starting to bloat out at 12-20. He's just behind an Ogre team with 6 Ogres. That's how bloaty he is. All those skinks. 6 Psychopaths from Nillyman, his Ogre team. This guy's Agi busted, but that's okay. He's got break tackle, so he's not using his Agi to dodge. He's an Ogre, so you just don't carry the ball with him, and probably he's fine. It looks like he's missing an Ogre. I don't know if he started with the full 6, but he's down to 5 now, which is rough, but he has some rerolls. No Apo. So that's also painful. Just the one. No, he's got 3 levels on Noblars. He's got a diving tackle and a sure feet diving tackle. The other ones don't have any SPP. Armor busted Noblar. I don't know. They're so easy to break. I don't know if that really matters. And they're so cheap. He's kind of out of money. But he also has a block ogre. So both are ogre teams with block ogres. He's really going to miss Jeepers Creepers. 890 TV for an ogre team. He might be the one to get inducements next game. So keep that in mind. We'll pay attention to that when it's time to look at next week's matches. My team, my Goblin team, the Psychedelic Shroomers. I have Grab on my Fnatic, Sure Feet on my Pogoer, and a Diving Tackle Goblin. And that's it. This guy better not be a niggle. Nope, just an MNG. He'll be back next week. 2 rerolls, no Apo, because who cares if things die? I'm Goblins. Not a lot of development, but doing all right on my games. Killman, Yo Romeo's Lizard team, the Little Lizzies. Oh, we got to pour one out. That strength up skink is dead. And in his place has arisen, all hail the movement up skink. So that's amazing. Movement up on a skink. That may not be new. If it's not, oh well. But that's a good skink. You can take sure feet or sprint. Well, sprint probably. And then you've got almost a one-turner. A 9 movement and sure feet. That's one push, I believe, for a, or not sure feet, sprint. One movement up and sprint. 9 movement and sprint. One push, one turn touchdowns. So you start looking to chain push this guy. And Lizards with a natural one turner, if he rolls another movement on this guy, that would be insane. But even a one push one turner isn't bad. It's not too hard in a stunty league. He's got a tackle skink. I like that. Hopefully, yep, just an MNG. So he'll be out for a game, but he'll be back. Break tackle on the Crocs. Good choice. He's down a few men, so he's going to be playing with some loners. Hopefully he can work around that. But all in all, the loss of the strength skink is going to hurt. But that happens. What are you going to do about it? It was probably the troll, if I had to guess, but I didn't watch the game. Last up, brunch time, Striker's halfling team. Block halfling, block tree. I believe he had those both last week. Is this an MNG or a niggle? MNG on a diving tackle halfling. All the other halflings are blank. He's going to be a little light on men. I think he's going to have 10 players this game. Yeah, 13's -1, so it's 12, 11, 10 players. He'll be down a player. So he's going to be picking up either buying one or picking up 30 TV in Journeyman. He's got the Wizard Stadium. He knows what he's doing. So let's take a look at the leaderboard. Big Chuck up on top, you big cheater, followed by me. So it looks like people who play with Stunties in the main league have a grasp on Stunties. That's not too surprising. Followed up by Grazy and Nillyman and Striker. So Grazy is in 3rd place. He could challenge me if I lose or if I draw. Chuck, his destiny's in his own hands. I've already lost to Chuck. If Chuck wins out, he's going to take it. If I win out, I could still lose to him. But once you get past Chuck, we're all kind of still in it. Nillyman and Striker are tied with 2-0 and 2. And you've got Little Lizzie and the Elite of the Worst rounding out our stunty leaderboard with some development on them. So we'll see if we have a season 2, we'll see how these teams play out. Maybe we could get more people. That would be great. All right, so schedule next week. 6 Psychopaths versus Little Lizzie. So Nillyman's down some ogres. Little Lizzie is going to have some journeymen. I got to give it to the Lizards because of their speed. I've said it before, but having that 8 movement on Skanks is just so good. He has a break tackle Crocs. He can move it around and reposition it. I think he'll be able to pull it off. I believe in you, Yo Romeo. Nillyman's Trolls Are Stupid versus Brunch Time. This one, Striker knows what he's doing with flings. Goblins are a little hard to predict, but I have to go with Striker. He's a good coach, and he knows flings. I've seen him play them on his stream. He's not new to them. He's got 2 block players. In a stunty league, having 2 block players is just hard to compete with, really. So, if you're listening to this, Pookie, chainsaw the Blodge halfling. Just do it. It'll work, I promise. Or you'll chainsaw yourself and you'll die, and that's fun too. Stunties. Next up, Elite of the Worst, Common Sinners, maxed out Ogre team against my Goblin team. This one's going to come down to whether the Goblins bring their weapons. There's a fair bit of inducements that I have to pick up, but wait, the Elite of the Worst is Nillyman. Hold on. Nillyman's 890. Nillyman gets 30 TV plus loners. So how many loners is he getting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's another 140 or 120 in loners. Oh, Nillyman, you get enough TV to induce a wizard. You're going to get 150, I think, if I did that math right, just based on where Little Lizzie is versus you, as long as you have 11. Oh, nope. You got a bunch of Noblars that are going to eat into that. So you're going to get 4 Noblars, so that's 80. So you'll get 70 TV in inducements. That's enough for something, a babe. Not enough for more than a babe, unless you don't. Not even with your own money. You don't have enough money. That's sad. Sad. You get a babe. Underway Freaks versus Make Like a Banana. So Big Chuck knows what he's doing and has some development. Underway Freaks do too, though. They've got a 2-head, an extra arms, and their troll is pretty good. So Chuck's smart. I think he's going to be able to stay away from that troll or just send it to Crocs to play with. I think Chuck takes it. Yet again, I'm going to repeat myself. The lizard speed is really hard to compete with. Um, and without a lot of development, Chuck's team is just coming along better than most of the rest of us. This is just, he's a lizard player. He knows what he's doing. This is just a lizard player doing lizard things. He's got plenty of development. I think he'll be able to take it. I don't know if anyone's going to beat Chuck. Chuck might just take it. We shall see. Beat Chuck. Grazy. Beat him. Take that troll and just murder all his lizards. I don't care how you do it. Inducements. Where's Chuck? Chuck is at 1220. Underway Freaks are at 910. There's a fair bit of inducements there. I believe you got a full squad. Yeah, so there's a lot of inducements coming. You know, you're talking about almost 310 in inducements. That's enough for, I think that's enough for Skitter, Stab, and a Wizard. I could be wrong there. But I think Skitter's 160 and a Wizard's 150, and that's 310. So I think you could take, oh no, you can't take rats. That's right. So, what is it? There's, is it Fez? You could take the 130 Blodge Chainsaw player, I think, and then a Wizard. You could just induce some babes in a Wizard. You could take a Halfling Chef if you wanted to. There's a lot of options. 310 in inducements is going to be interesting. We'll see how this goes next week. I'll see you again next week. This is Goblin Marine, and this has been your Windy City Stunties Week 4 recap.